Hi, I'm Pam Tillis, and you're watching Strike TV.
Hey everybody, Brian here, Strike TV, Backstage Access. We are with the legend, the living legend, the icon. Yes, Miss Pam Tillis, thank you so much. One, she is a member of the famous We Love You Grand Ole Opry.
That's right.
She is a Grammy winner, a CMA winner, an IBMA winner.
Yeah.
She's performed on Broadway in New York. She has songwriting. Look up some of it. Go to PamTillis.com. Look at some of the songs that the people she has written for, and you will have almost, I say, a kind of a Texas thing, because you shot the video at Rockefeller's, I believe.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was 1996-ish, maybe, something like that.
Yeah.
94? Was it 94? See, thank you, Daryl. I appreciate that. So yeah, he's the guy. So and so how does it feel to still be? Tonight was sold out. And then you, and as we were talking earlier, you still have 6 shows by the end of the year to come to Texas.
Oh, I know. I'm excited about that.
So
we love playing down here.
Oh, and we
you know,
love
the
having
audiences are good, and they love their country music. You guys are really appreciate it, and there is a feeling. It's funny, when I was about to go on the road for the very first time, and I always noticed. Like when I was a kid, I helped out in Daddy's office, and I'd get to see his itinerary.
Oh, wow.
And I always saw a lot of Texas.
Right.
And I was like, wow, Texas likes Daddy. Mm-hmm. And anyway, so when I grew up and got a record deal and started, and I had a hit record and I could tour.
Right.
You know, I was kind of excited about Texas. It just sounded, cool. I'm going to go. I don't know. And Daddy goes, oh, you're going to like playing Texas. He says, people down there know how to have a good time. He said, they'll dance to the news. Like, it doesn't take much for you guys to have a good time down here.
Well, it was funny because tonight was like the sing back karaoke night.
That's right. I love that. I love that.
But what's funny was, but I don't think you always, in the very, very beginning, you weren't really like solid straight line country.
No. I kind of took a long and winding route to get back home.
Right.
Because when I was in high school and I thought I might want to go into this, Daddy was at the very peak of his career. He was Entertainer of the Year. So,
yes.
Think about that. And he was in movies, and he was on all the talk shows, and I'm like, and it's easy for the son or daughter or anybody that, has a famous parent or a famous brother or sister, you can get lost in the shuffle.
Yes.
And so I thought, well, maybe I better go find another genre
right.
to hang out in. And I loved all kinds of music.
Uh-huh.
Like I'd already been kind of dabbling in all kinds of things too. And so I thought, well, maybe I should also take the time to find out who I am.
Right.
And after I sang all kinds of stuff, sang pop, I sang R&B, I sang jazz, some new wavy kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm country. I came back to it, and I'm glad I did. And it never felt like, I don't know, I found myself in sync with what I was hearing with the new country artists of the early 90s.
Yes.
Late 80s. All of a sudden I could relate to it. It didn't feel like just my dad's music. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
No,
but you know what I mean? All of a sudden I could see where I could fit in it. At radio at that time, and so I was able to get my foot in the door. He had wanted to help me early in my career, but I don't know, like any daddy, he was like, well, but you should wear this and you should sing this, and I didn't want to be, I guess you could say rebellious, but I just wanted to be my own person.
Right.
And he had the wisdom to step back.
Uh-huh.
And he says, okay, let's see what you can do. And, and that was okay, because I thought if I failed, at least I did it by my own, being true to myself. And he respected that.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, go do it. And he was the one that breathed the biggest sigh of relief. When I finally had a hit record, he's like, I'm so glad you pulled it off. I didn't. I didn't know there for a minute.
Right.
But he was so proud.
Well, and he should be, because what's funny is I know you say it was really hard, but just the success and the different things you've done, the songs and the songwriter, the songs that you have maybe written or co-written for Conway Twitty and these other, and then of course you did jingles and all this,
a few things
that you did, the Broadway thing, and then like 30 chart songs, everything, the Grand Ole Opry stuff, winning Grammy, and then of course now we're here.
The one thing I learned from Dad was, that's the new one, pretty new. Pretty new. Yeah, pretty new.
Pretty new, pretty doggone good.
Thank you.
It was so good they had to blow it up, make it big.
There you go.
They had to put it extra big.
I always tell people, the young people, I say, this is vinyl. It's like a big CD.
It is so good.
Thank you.
So tell us about it. I mean, tell us about your name.
Oh, a little bit of this. It's I kind of came of musical age in the 70s. There's always some real traditional stuff on here, but this is a real mix. Kind of you know what a crazy quilt is? You know what that is?
What is a crazy quilt?
It's just kind of a quilt that's made out of all kinds of different pieces of material that aren't in a pattern. They're just kind of random shapes. And so this is just kind of a little bit of a grab bag. There's some rocking things on here. There's some things with a honky-tonk heart, and then there's, it's a real mix. I wrote about 8 out of these 11 tracks. Yeah. Wow. So, and some songs that I'd had in my back pocket for a while. So it was a fun project. And the show, and Last Summer's Wine.
Yes.
And we're about we're finally going to be working up Dolly 1969, which is a song about my hero, Dolly Parton.
Yes.
And anyway, it's a fun, I like to think it's a fun record. I was proud of it.
There was some incident about your dad in a church in a dress or something?
Oh, Lord.
Look, I don't know. Again, this was...
well, let me put in a plug for the old man.
Okay,
He's
here we go.
gone but not forgotten.
Oh, yeah.
And he did a comedy record. You can find it. We're working. He didn't do that. He did that with Toby Keith's label. So we're in the process of trying to find out now that Toby's passed on. God rest his soul. But we want to re-release it. But you can find that. I'm going to say for all the serious collectors, if you got to go to Amazon or eBay or wherever you got to track down this album. But he did a comedy album, and that story is on it.
Oh, my goodness.
And the album is called You Ain't Gonna Believe This. I heard those stories all my life, and when he printed that record and I popped it in my car, because I had a CD player back then.
Right.
I just couldn't believe how he could tell a story like nobody else.
Wow.
And I was just dying laughing over all those stories, even though I'd heard them a million times. But
okay. Not only did you play, I think, Tribute to Tradition album, you did the Don't Need to Rock and Chair.
Oh, yeah, we did that.
You did the 8-second soundtrack, and you've done some songs.
We did a tribute to Merle Haggard,
so,
Mama's Hungry Eyes with Arista Records, and we did there was a George Jones tribute that I'd taken part of, and there was a record that won a Grammy called Livin', Lovin', and Louvin'.
Yes.
And that was the songs of the Louvin brothers. And I got to sing on one of the if not the last recording, like maybe right at the very end with Mr. Johnny Cash. And it was
the gospel song.
That's right.
I listened to that today. Jesus.
Yeah,
oh.
yeah. And he wasn't there in the studio. He was not. He was having a hard time with his health. And that's, like I said, that's one of the last recordings. And so he wasn't in the studio that day. But so I did he did the recitation, I sang the choruses, and it was an old gosh, I want to say it's an old Ralph Stanley song called Will You Miss Me? And so I'm in the headphones, and I do and I'm listening to Johnny Cash and this recitation. And when Johnny Cash spoke, you go, it is possible that God sounds a little bit like Johnny Cash. I don't know. It's just a theory.
Yes.
But and then I got to sing that, and I just kind of cried when I heard the record back, because I thought, man, I wish my grandmother, she would have been so proud that I got to work with him. But yes, I've been so lucky to get
So is there anyone that you haven't worked with, or a project that you want to do that you haven't done?
Oh, sure, sure. I mean, there's all kinds of people that would be great to work with. I haven't sung there again. I wasn't in the room with him, but I've been on a record with James Taylor. But that would be neat. That would be really neat. I'm a huge James Taylor fan, and
Nice.
and you know Willie. Although Willie's got a different singing style, I think he'd be a little bit hard to sing with, but I'd sure like to try.
Right. You might get that contact.
Yeah.
No, not anymore. We wouldn't. This is
no.
the family show.
No, but I love, you know, Willie Nelson's a national treasure. I've gotten to sing with Dolly Parton.
Dolly.
Allison Krauss and I got to sing on a Dolly Parton record, and she came and sang on my Tillis Sings Tillis record.
Yeah, and then you were part of some song called Romeo. Speaking of
right,
that
was a
Dolly
big
thing.
that was
Yeah,
big fun.
so
That was big fun.
and so what is Pam Tillis listening to today? Do you have
I love Miranda Lambert's new stuff that I've heard. I haven't heard.
it drops today.
It dropped yesterday.
Yesterday. No, Friday, today, yesterday.
Today.
Well, see, you probably got the copy yesterday, a couple of days.
I haven't heard
Okay.
all of the.
Postcards.
I haven't heard
texts.
all of the new record, but the
Yes.
things I've heard, it's like I've loved. And you know, I am a Lainey Wilson fan. She's great.
Yes.
I love Hang On Honey, and I think Carly Pearce's new record, Hummingbird, is a really nice. And who, you know, in a country that's so divided, I think the one thing that we all agree on is how freaking great Chris Stapleton is.
You know, he's not. What was he? Well, he was with. Well, see, I remember Stapleton when he was with the Steel Drivers.
Yeah, me too.
And
me
then when
too.
he was co-writing all
I heard him sing
Drink a Beer and all these
I
other
heard him sing
songs that he had done.
Bluegrass,
So,
and
yeah,
it just like
it's
what?
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. But I listen to all kinds of stuff. You'd be surprised. I like. I listen to everything.
Yes.
Everything.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. And so.
And good music is good music. I don't like music that's negative or puts women down or
No.
glorifies bad stuff. I like great music, and
Oh, yeah.
and it comes in all forms.
Yeah, the women are they're on it. The Lainey Wilsons, everything.
Yeah,
they're
they're-
you know, most nominated.
They're giving
whatever.
it heck. They really are.
And we're lucky to have you.
Well, I'm hanging in there.
So we're so thankful. Again,
Thank you.
ladies and gentlemen, PamTillis.com. Get the record.
Yeah.
If you're in Texas
or
anywhere,
any other record.
or any of a vinyl,
Yeah,
I mean,
any
go
of 'em.
buy the stuff. You have 6 chances by the end of the year. Texas is a big. Come check it out, or go find her, see when she's playing other things. I
Yeah.
promise you.
Yeah, and we've played with the full band. The full band's coming down here at some point, and that's
What?
yeah. And I got a great band too. Wow. It's really fun, but we're excited to come back, and yeah, it's been a good year. It's been a good year. I can't, you know, to me it's amazing. I just did a show with Travis Tritt and Aaron Tippin, and we were like, can you believe we're all still out here? But
Wow.
we're, you know, and Travis sounded as great as he ever sounded, and Aaron was entertaining his small butt off, and he, you know, he works out really hard. He's still
Right, he's
all muscled up, and it's like, Aaron, did you run into a hive of bees? Because you're all swollen.
Did you give Travis some guitar lessons?
Oh, he just put on a heck of a show, but we were just all slapping each other on the back, saying, "Can you believe this?" And we are all look at each other and say how fortunate we've been.
Well, we are so fortunate. Again, I mean, the people. It's a matter. We had people breaking down the door trying to get in there. I don't know if you saw them earlier,
We squeezed them all in.
but trying to come in. But again, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Sarah. Thank you, Daryl. Thank you, Tommy. So again, PamTillis.com. Check it out. I am Brian, Strike TV, Backstage Access. We'll see you next time.